Do you know what neurodiversity is?
How I understand is a spectrum, right? It's essentially means that every individual is wired and inspired very, very differently. Everyone works very differently. But neurodivergence is a term which was coined by a psychologist named Judy Singer, means including people and accepting them as who they are. Hello everyone, my name is Ridhima. I am a psychologist, mainly working with a lot of children, young adults, parents, and schools.
I have some ideas. They are a bit ऐसा focus करने में problem होता है and थोड़ा सा social cues समझने में.
Okay. Yeah, so I have read many articles about neuro-related articles in which they explain how different people have different kind of mindset and how they behave in different kind of environments.
What comes to mind when you hear the term neurodivergent?
They are quite different from the normal norms or the normalities which we have in the society. Like जहाँ पर हम हेजिटेट कर जाएंगे शायद वहाँ पर ये हेजिटेट नहीं करेंगे. हो सकता है कि हम ये सोचें कि पता नहीं कौन क्या सोचेगा, आसपास में लोग हैं हमको देख रहे हैं. आई विल बी क्वाइट कॉन्शियस, जो कि मतलब थोड़ा मेरा ट्रेट है. बट जब हम देखते हैं कि उस भीड़ में कोई खड़ा होके और पूछ रहा है, कर रहा है, तो it is quite fascinating to me.
When you don't know that the person you are dealing with is neurodiverse, your expectations of the interaction can make the experience less than positive for both of you. It could also be that the affected person has not been diagnosed as neurodiverse, and this can be a very dark phase for that person because he or she is subjected to a lot of criticism, ridicule, abuse. Post the diagnosis, the journey becomes better as the immediate circle is better educated. Regarding my own experience, I hate to admit, but I have been very harsh and severe to a neurodivergent. But post diagnosis, I reset my interaction parameters.
मेरे दिमाग में जो आता है मे बी जो कैपेसिटी होती है कुछ चीज़ें पकड़ने की, जज करने की, उसमें डिफरेंस होती है लोगों में.
What do you think neurodivergent people are like?
According to me, they are different. They are unique. They might have some problem in assessing their surrounding and seeing what is right or what is wrong. बट वही है कि प्रॉपर गाइडेंस के साथ एंड उनको भी बताया जाए चीज़ें तो वो भी समझते हैं. सो इट इज़ नॉट लाइक कि उनको समझ नहीं आता या उन कॉम्प्रीहेंड नहीं कर पाते हैं. दे जस्ट टेक टाइम टू कॉम्प्रीहेंड एवरीथिंग और अंडरस्टैंड everything, what is going on and what are the reasons.
I think they're incredibly talented and can be super fun people. They form deep friendships, can be very caring, but they can also be selectively hardworking. If they're passionate about something, they will put 24 hours into it. But if there's something they don't like to do, then it's a real challenge to get them working on it. They can also be a bit forgetful and oblivious of time dimension.
Do you think you know any neurodivergent people?
Yes, I have a very dear cousin of mine, and he is what you can say neurodivergent, and he has been taking medicines since I know him, and he is like just 1.5 years younger to me. So I have seen him very closely. I have seen him facing many issues, including his education, his employment. But time and again, the whole family has groomed atmosphere that you are absolutely normal, it's absolutely fine, you have to progress with it.
Yes, I do. I've had students in the past, and some of them were not even diagnosed as neurodivergent when they started coming to me. It was during the journey that their evaluations, diagnosis took place, and I can say I was better placed than their own parents to help them in the journey.
How comfortable are you advocating for neurodivergent individuals or learning more about their experiences?
I am quite advocative. हो सकता है कि लोग उनको गलत समझ लें क्योंकि like I said कि they don't hesitate and they don't understand कि आगे वाले जो है वो किसी चीज़ को कैसे perceive करेंगे. तो दे जस्ट डू व्हाट दे सी फिट, एंड फिर सामने वाला अगर उसको गलत तरीके से इंटरप्रेट कर लेता है तो समटाइम्स दे गेट इनटू सिचुएशन दे डोंट वांट, वी डोंट वांट.
We have to understand what all difficulties they face, because medicines sometimes they bring on lethargy, sometimes they brings on even mood swings.
वेरी कंफर्टेबल. इनफैक्ट मेरी दोस्त बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, खुद को थोड़ा स्लो करो, समझो उनका पेस.
What role do you think the general public can play in supporting the neurodivergent community?
इनफैक्ट अगर इसको इस तरह से देखो कि जनरल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स में भी हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा अपने पॉइंट को ऐसा सही करने के लिए दूसरों पे चढ़ते हैं. इंस्टेड ऑफ डूइंग दैट, अगर किसी आर्ग्यूमेंट में दोनों एक दूसरे को समझें तो शायद एक बेटर कंक्लूजन तक पहुंचा जा सकता है. बट वी आर टू कॉट अप इन प्रूविंग आवरसेल्व्स राइट.
First of all, there is no acceptance. Acceptance should be there. Like, we know we all are different, so this acceptance has to come. Then this understanding has to come. Awareness has to come. So once it is there, then only something can be done.
Instead of just standing and having fun of them, maybe they can approach. एक thought आना कि कहीं इनको मेरी ज़रूरत पड़ सकती है.
What support academic institutions can provide to support neurodivergent people?
So when we're talking about schools, everything starts there, right? So if the teachers can sort of initiate in seeing, in detecting that there is something, the child is struggling with something, and then provide the kind of accommodations that the child can do well with, can do wonders for the child, right? In accommodations, it essentially depends what kind of struggles is the child facing with or dealing with, and in order to understand that, it's important that we get a comprehensive assessment done for this understanding. What is the child struggling with? What is it that they would benefit from? What kind of accommodations that they need? Some accommodations would be in terms of writing. The child needs some accommodation if they have like some learning disability, either in writing or reading or mathematics. Those are exactly the kind of specific tailored accommodations that the child needs.
How can they better understand and help neurodivergent people?
When a child does not fit in to the usual expected way that a child needs to adapt or develop or be in school or adjust to a school environment, we start seeing that as a problem, right? Rather than a different way in which a child would be adapting, a different way that a child would be navigating those those instances as well, right? So the answer to the question is that the more empathy. Second, acceptance of the differences, more tolerance towards that, right? Third is that to not see differences as a weakness or a deficit, but to see it also as a strength, right? And I think when that narrative begins to happen, a lot of time, I think individuals who are also neurodivergent ends up feeling that they either misunderstood or there's something wrong because they don't fit into the expected norms, right? That we all normal way of going about things. And I think when these things start to happen, that feeling that there's something wrong with me or I'm defective would also reduce. My name is Tanushri Sangma, and I am an expressive arts-based therapist and a counseling psychologist, the Department of Mental Health and Behavioral Sciences. So I've been here since 7.5 years.
How does therapy help neurodivergent individuals?
So I feel therapy is one of the ways where they can navigate these social challenges, social norms or expectations, while simultaneously also understanding what works for them, who they are, right? For example, some people say that they are very, very straight or very blunt in their interactions with people. That's a brilliant strength which a lot of human beings, in my opinion, don't carry with themselves these days, right? So how can they use this skill? So one is understanding that they are neurodivergent, understanding their experiences with neurodivergence, and thirdly, how can they translate these little skills or abilities that they possess into their interactions with people.
Neurodivergent is an umbrella term for anyone who falls outside lines of being neurotypical. Neurodiversity is the idea that neurological differences like autism, ADHD, and dyslexia are the result of normal, natural variation in the human genome. According to one estimate, around 15 to 20% of people worldwide are neurodivergent. Neurodivergent people have unique strengths and talents, but some of them face challenges due to communication skills, inability to understand social cues, and body language. Unfortunately, even in this information age, these people still face stigma and discrimination in society, schools, and workplaces. This documentary is an attempt to understand what people think and spread awareness to make life easier for neurodivergent people.